diameter 10 material, right, a round bar, is what you're going to need to cut for your handle. And the length to cut it is not really critical, but what I would like you to be able to do is to pop that into your container in a sort of crosswise or diagonal orientation. So cut it a little bit shorter than the diagonal measurement of your container, alright? You all know how to use the hacksaw, and you would cut yourself a piece, and we've got to deal with the ends. Right, so for the bottom of the handle, we have to chamfer the end off because you don't want these sharp edges. Come and join us. Come and join us. You don't want these sharp edges that are burred and ugly. We are going to slide a piece of poly tube over the end of the handle when we're done, but that doesn't mean that you want those sharp edges there. The way to get rid of them is just to use a file. Now watch how we use the file.
You're not letting me see, sir.
Watch how we use the file. You rock it. Right. Now the natural tendency would be for you to actually work this way around. Right? The easiest way to get a nice rounded edge is actually to rock it the other way. So what we're doing here is we're creating what we call a chamfer. Chamfer. And it just knocks off that sharp corner and gives us, yeah, just a far more user-friendly edge there. Okay, so let's have a look and see what we need to do to the other end. I will continue to put a chamfer on. You'll see I've already had a bit of a head start on this one. This is the end that we're going to cut the screw thread onto. Right, and I've put a significant chamfer on there. In fact, so much so that the small circle at the top of that is probably 8 millimeters in diameter or less. But at that point, we want to start cutting our screw thread on there. So I'm going to put a dab of cutting paste on again. Right, let's not overdo it. And when we pop this in the vise, let's try and hold it so that it is as upright as possible. Can you see from where you are? Tabitha? Can you see from where you are whether it's pointing to the left or the right? Or straight up?
Slightly that way.
So I need to move it that way?
Yep, that's about right.
Okay, that's good. So we're really just eyeballing it. Right, let's have a look at this piece of equipment here. Again, different sizes. Alright, what is important is that the die, right, this is the die, the part that cuts the thread. The die must have the same measurements as the tap had. You remember the tap was an M12 by 1.5. Right, so check on the die, you'll see it says M10, metric 10 millimeter outside diameter, and the pitch was a 1.5 millimeter pitch, which meant, Josephine, which meant that the distance from the crest on the one to the crest on the next door thread was 1.5 millimeters. Now the thing that holds the die is called a stock. Right? You know, at the Parikari Museum, they've got a set of stocks there. Do you know what they were for? No? Right, it was for holding prisoners in. Right, so it opened up and there were holes for arms and a neck to fit through, and then they closed the stocks and the prisoner would be held trapped in the stock, so people could throw rotten tomatoes and things at them. Right, so common thieves. Right, so similar thing, it's got a hole, and what is trapped inside here is the die. So the die is going to cut that screw thread profile on here. Right, so that we need the lead so that it's easier to get that cut started. Right, again, when you put this on, right, have someone eyeballing it from that side and from the side to make sure that we're not going on skew. Otherwise you're going to end up with a screw thread that has got a sort of a deep side and a shallow side. How are we looking at, Tabitha? Pretty even. And if we turn it through another 90 degrees, how are we looking from that side, Jamie?
Good.
Good? Alright, so we can keep going. So we make a couple of turns, right, just to get her on. You can see from the top, if you have a close look down there, I think, Jamie, that the swarf is starting to curl up in those spaces. So every full turn, we take a half a turn back. Let's get a shot of what's going on inside there if you can. You take a half a turn back and you'll break off all the bits of swarf. Right, so thank you. We'll keep going. How far down do we need to cut this thread? How far? How far down do we need to cut this thread? You don't know. Who wants to take a guess?
20 millimeters.
Why would you go 20 millimeters?
That's the size of the hammer head.
Brilliant answer. If you go a little bit further, what are you going to do, Dana? What are you going to do if you go a bit further? Go back, you say. Oh. If you go too far, what are you going to do?
You'll be able to see the thread.
Yeah, look at it. It's going to pop out the top of your hammerhead, isn't it? So what are you going to do with that? You can file it off, cut it off with the hacksaw if you need to. Up and down once or twice, or polish it and give you a nice smooth thread. But again, we don't really need to worry too much about polishing it, because we're going to fit it once and then we're going to hopefully get nice and tight and then forget about it. Right, do we still have that hammerhead in the box there, Phil?
Yeah, there is.
Right, do you want to pass it over, please? Right, again, here is the acid test. This is the one we did just the other day. Does it go on? Yep, there we go. So we should get it on the whole way. Whatever sticks out the top, you can cut off. Right, are there any questions about that? Right, once you get to this stage, guys, please be wary that you don't just start hammering random things. Right, you don't want to lose this because you're being destructive with it. Okay, are there any questions from your side?
Nope.
Sure? All happy with that? Good. I think we're all right.